Hello, and welcome back to the 100 game analysis of Guardian. Our last run was another win. Boss swapped into Idol of Retribution, used that to discount a few early things, and then we built very defensively, starting even in Act 1, and then pretty much cruised the whole way through the rest of the game with a stasis build. Had a couple of interesting moments, like getting the compile package by going for one more fight than usual, getting our rare chances up, and then getting that before the end of the act. Being able to go through Act 2 and get 4 elites was pretty nice. And yeah, it turns out that stasis is pretty strong even without much else support. Just get a few extra stasis slots and put a bunch of stuff in and then wait for them to come out a few turns later. The more cards you play, the better. So let's get into today's run. Still no seed. I might have forgotten to do that last time. I don't even know if it's necessary, but, you know. Ooh, alright, finally in a different one. Tourmaline, 4 temporary thorns. Another gem that I like to socket immediately, even though it's a little bit weird. It does damage only whenever enemies attack you. So putting it in an attack is a little bit weird. But in my experience, it's generally fine to put it into Twin Slam. Alright, we've got Transform a card, max HP plus 7, a curse for choosing a rare card, and of course the boss swap. Our boss today is Ironclad 1, so we are not boss swapping. Gotta make sure that we can win that Act 1 boss fight. So in terms of power, max HP, generally not powerful enough. Transforming a card can go a lot of different ways. If it goes in a defensive direction, then we might have trouble killing Act 1 elites, since Guardian does not have much damage. That being said, the stalling that he gets from defensive mode and the starter relic are pretty valuable. Can allow you to take 1 extra turn in a fight. And then there's the curse for the rare card. Let's take a look at our pathing real quick, see what we got. There is a 4 elite path if I wanted it, but it has no campfire, so we will probably not be taking that. 2 elite, 1 campfire path on the right. Where are the rest of the campfires? This middle right path has the farthest down campfire, but it's only maximum 2 elites or 1 extra campfire and 1 elite. And then the path on the left has 2 campfires and probably 2 elites, should I choose to take them. There's also a shop here, so I could remove the curse if I so wanted. This is tough. I'm not too sure about transforming a card. Transforming a card takes definitely a few floors for it to be guaranteed to pay off. If it's an attack, then we're definitely a lot better off. But if it is something like a planning, which is a do-nothing card the turn you play it, or if it's something like what is the card? It's Pardon, I think. It requires that you have 20 block and then gives you Brace and Thorns. So like those kinds of requirement cards could be difficult to work with. You'd have to build around them. There's also a bunch of weaker cards like the Protocols, which would make it harder to play in Act 1. Let's see, if we were to go down this left path, we would only be hitting 2 fights. The campfires would be nice for upgrading whatever we get, but a lot of upgrades are just a couple damage things, so we might not actually get that much benefit from this way. The main thing would be that we could hit a shop and then get rid of the curse if we took a rare card. In fact, that's what I think I'm leaning towards. Maybe take one of these early campfires. An early campfire means an upgrade, usually, which means that we'll be a lot more prepared to take on future elites. So I can take on one, take on this merchant, and then maybe get a second or third should I choose to do so. And despite fighting Ironclad 1, I think that may actually be a good choice. There's also a shop here if I want to go this way, but at the same time, it's only 2 fights before that, I guess technically 3. It doesn't give me the pathing option to take an early elite if I wanted to. So I think we go down through here. Probably going to take this, but we could take that as well. And then head over to this shop. So we're going to take this rare card. Early construction form or early stasis field. Okay, this is interesting. Our curse is bewildered. When you play another card, muddle your hand and discard this. That randomizes the cost of all cards in your hand, and it must change the costs. So that means that it could actually empower something like construction form. We play another card with that and construction form in hand, and then it would reroll the cost below 3 guaranteed. I find it funny that Time Sifter is back. I think this is just so powerful to take an Act 1 though. 2 buffer, and the 1 strength over time if we keep 1. You may recall taking a buffer from Niao when playing Defect, the main difference being that this is a buffer plus, which is a huge difference. Usually you need to dump an upgrade into buffer in order for it to stay relevant, but 2 buffers is a much different story, especially against the Act 1 elites, which for the most part only a single attack. Sentries would be the only exception, but even then they attack for 10, which can be blocked to preserve the buffer. So that will keep us very, very safe throughout most of the act, and in fact I think we are definitely going to go this way on the chance that we can hit that and win. Alright, first things first, let's socket our Tourmaline. I guess on 3 energy our main weakness is that construction form is going to be the only card we play during a turn, as is the usual case with most form cards. Oh hey, check this out. Got an extra strike in. And I want to preserve the buffer, but it's not really that big of a deal. I'd rather play a strike right now. And we're going to make use of the thorns here to get the kill. Alright. Suspension, Ruby, roll attack. Roll attack, another 2-cost card. Pretty expensive to use. This will likely be rolled below 2 with Bewildered in hand, but it's not guaranteed. That being said, the majority of the time it will is still good enough. There's also a suspension if we want it. On 3 energy, it's definitely a lot better. On 4 energy, it's hard to make use of it because you're actually taking 2 cards out of your hand. See, for example, Silence, Concentrate, which discards multiple cards. It would take up all those draws. It would take up all those draws plus itself in order to be able to be played. This is obviously not as big of a payment, but still along the same lines of problem. Ruby, definitely not needed. We don't really want to put that in Twin Slam. I think we are really just looking for attacks, even though this one's expensive. So I'm going to take that. So another thing about Muddle is that even just playing the odds sometimes can be correct. So if I were to do something like play Twin Slam and then have 3 cards in hand, there's still a decent chance that I would get a 0 cost. I think it's actually less than 1 in 3 chance of missing that. Yeah, it's about a 27, like a 30% chance, I believe. That sounds right. 30% chance to miss on all 3 cards. If we were to play this though, and the second slam was the only one that cost 0, that might be a problem. But we still have 2 leftover energy. So we could play a 0 cost and a 2 cost. Alternatively, we could play a defend first. The only problem is that we would only be rolling 2 cards instead, which I'm a little unsure about. it would just make playing both defends a lot more likely. And I think that's what we need to be doing right now. No need to use up a bunch of HP yet. Oh, and we got like the luckiest roll. Okay, awesome. Definitely not going to complain about that. So Bewildered just basically gave us an extra energy that turn. We played 4 energy worth of cards, 2 defends, and Twin Slam and Second Slam. This being one of the downfall cards is actually very interesting. Downfall curses, specifically. It's very interesting because it can be an upside. One of the other curse, I think, a couple episodes ago we went over curses in the compendium, specific to downfall. Haunted was another one that was particularly good. Sometimes because it makes cards in your hand ethereal. Sometimes it's annoying because it forces you to play cards that you want to keep later, even though you might not want to play them now. But it can also get rid of your bad cards, such as Strikes and Defense. Definitely looking at this Amethyst here. Being able to socket the Amethyst in the Twin Slam would be a very powerful combo with our Thorns. There's also Reroute here. Reroute also has a synergy with Bewilder because any zero-cost card we put into stasis, even though it's only temporary reroll, it will go into stasis for only 1 turn, based on the zero-cost temporary change. It's a bit of an exploitable mechanic that you can use in those cases. There's also Resilient Plate here in case we want to keep the Thorns from Twin Slam. I personally think it's a little bit early to take one of these, but at the same time we do have a roll attack, which means that we have enough brace between those two and this to go into defensive mode. So it may be a possible choice as well. That being said, keeping Thorns is a little bit dubious because you need a lot of them in order to be effective. Out of the 3 temporary buffs, it is the one that requires the most in order to be effective. Strength is only reliant on how many damage cards you have, and Dexterity is only dependent on how many block cards you have. But Thorns are completely dependent on how often and how many times the enemy is attacking you. So you have to stall for a long time, usually. And it's why the numbers on Thorns are so high compared to the other two. It's double. So trying to keep them might be a little bit too ambitious for now. But like I said, the brace is really tempting at this point. As far as Amethyst goes, there are also other gems that work well in Twin Slam. This is personally one of my favorites. And especially with the combo with Thorns, it works very well, like I said. But there is a possibility that we can just pass on it. I think realistically these two are both about the same. Reroute might be a little bit of a stretch. With Construction Form, you don't necessarily need to take low impact attacks, and even though this can be used with Bewildered, it's not guaranteed to be that useful. All 3 of these are valid, though. What have we got coming up again? We got 2 more fights. I think if we took Amethyst, we would be forced to go right here. We have no other campfires for the rest of the act unless I go here and sacrifice multiple elites to get it. And, you know, because we'd want to socket the Amethyst before the end of the act. It's still not a bad idea. And it's definitely the safer option with this act that we have here. After all, we're not guaranteed to draw Construction Form early. It's usually nice if we do, but definitely not guaranteed. That being said, this is still the one that I want to take the most, just as personal preference. So I think I'm going to go with what I know here. I'm not going to greed too hard on the elites. We're going to play it safe. We're going to make sure that we can win instead of just hoping we can, you know? I'm going to do this. Okay, it rolled 3. That's unfortunate, but it happens. still survive. These are both likely to not attack again this turn. There we go. So we will just kill one. And now we have another chance to get lucky here. So let's see if we do. Another 3. But that's okay, because we hit all the rest of them. Another Tourmaline. Well, we did just take our Amethyst, so Tourmaline's off the table. Aquamarine as well is off the table. Prismatic Spray, however, is very interesting. With the amount of safety that we've just put into our deck, it may actually be fine to speculate into this, mainly because it is a multi-attack. So by the time that we get it filled with gems, it will be dumping our strength from construction form 3 times. I'm actually very inclined to take this, especially with the slightly safer path that we're going, to the right here. So I think that, yeah, I will be doing that. Okay, this is a little bit sad that a construction form is going to block these 2 hits instead of the last one. But, you know, that just happens sometimes. By the way, if we had not taken Amethyst or, I guess, also Resilient Plate, we probably would not have been able to take that other... to take this Prismatic Spray. The fact that we are going for a slightly safer option here allowed us to take a more speculative option for the future. So it's kind of interesting, actually. I remember I go on the Slay the Spire subreddit sometimes just to see what's being talked about there, and I saw a recent post about someone who was struggling with Act 1, and it seemed that it was very easy for them to get into a pattern of taking very risky things. And you know, greed is a very understandable thing for this game. You want to take the options that have the highest ceiling because those are the ones that are most fun. You power up and power up and power up to an obscene level, and then just obliterate all the hardest enemies in the game. So yeah, that kind of thing is fun to think about. But sometimes playing safe can allow you to find different ways to hit new heights, which is a little bit counterintuitive because usually you think like snowballing, you constantly are pushing forward, but sometimes you have to hold back a little bit so that you can slingshot forward in a different way. Okay, so obviously this is popping out because it's a gold card. Our rare so far, other than construction form, which we got at the heart, is Gem Finder. This is a really early rare. This is only our 4th fight. I don't recall how many commons we saw before then to know how high our rare chance was, but this is definitely unusual. These other 2 options don't intrigue me that much. Harden and Temporal Shield. Harden would be very hard to get all the block for, and I mentioned that earlier about that card specifically. And Temporal Shield, we don't really have stasis use yet, so it wouldn't really be a shrug it off in most cases. It would be draw dependent, and I'm not a fan of draw dependent stuff like requiring that we get curl up first before this, because it burns you way too often. This, however, is absolutely perfect for our Prismatic Spray. However, it might be a little bit difficult to use this act unless we were to go this way. It's a little bit strange, though, as well, because there's only 1 guaranteed fight before then. I think we still take it for the future. I definitely think that we still have enough to take on our next fight. Put the Amethyst in the Twin Slam. There is an argument for putting it in the Prismatic Spray, actually. But I think it is better used here, for sure. 47 HP. It's actually a little bit lower than I thought it would be, but then again, we did just fight something that took away 8. And, you know, taking 4 fights before the first elite is a little bit riskier than most players would go, or I guess a little bit more aggressive. A lot of players like taking 3 fights before an elite. As I think I mentioned earlier, in the series, I like taking 4 to guarantee better to give myself better chances of hitting good cards before the elite. I guess if we look at it, I definitely have Construction Form and Roll Attack. These 3 cards are definitely a lot less useful, but we do also have a potion. So whether or not we rest is an interesting question. I suppose it's a 68, which may mean that we can take all those elites. What upgrades do we have available? Prismatic Spray only upgrades the upfront damage. Gem Finder goes to 0 cost. This becomes not ethereal. This gains 4 damage. This allows me to choose which card. You know, considering that we don't have a lot of high impact upgrades right now, I suppose Curl Up might actually be the best one, because that guarantees we get to go into defensive. You know what? I think that might actually be worth a campfire. A rest, rather. Since we have our starter relic especially, we have a lot more safety when we go into defensive this act. Oh, that's huge. This is one of my favorite relics. I usually forget about it, but then whenever I see it, it's, I guess it's a little bit, like a bit of an oxymoron that I somehow, or I guess ironic, I guess is the better word, that I simultaneously forget about this, but also love it. It's just such a good thing to have in fights like Slavers and Gremlin Leader. Can single-handedly save you from those encounters. I'm a little bit rambling here, so sorry about that. Okay, so something I'm seeing here is that next turn we likely have both of these cards, and we want to use Twin Slam on a turn that Lagavulin is attacking. Likewise, we also want to go into defensive on a turn that Lagavulin is attacking, because we'll get all the 20 block we need. So I want to play this Roll Attack and wake up Lagavulin now. I could play the Strike, but that would be a little bit of a gamble for that to roll 3, and then we just don't get the brace. We don't need to greed this Strike, so I'm not going to. However, we can also just roll a 0. Alright, Twin Slam, and Curl Up. And, we put a Strike into stasis? I guess we do. Rather have both defends for next turn when I only have 10 block versus Lagavulin's 20 attack. Actually, I have 14. Right, because I used Twin Slam, which reduces the attack by 4. I could also just ignore Lagavulin's attack this turn because I have Strength. I guess it was still a good reason to put Strike into stasis. Yeah, I can just do this again. I'll just take 1 buffer hit, keep gaining strength, we'll still be good. Alright, this time I will roll the roll attack. We hit a 0. Wow, 0 damage. And that's a 0 damage Lagavulin fight. This is why I thought we could afford to take an upgrade instead of resting, even though we're taking a very aggressive path. Fights like this just go very, very well. So now we have Curl Up and Roll Attack. This priming shot is not as necessary in previous episodes. The brace from Curl Up, not the upgraded, but normal Curl Up is 10, plus Roll Attack brace 8, and priming shot brace 3 was enough to put us in defensive. But now we don't need it. We can afford to still be picky here. I didn't actually get to play Gem Finder that fight. I should have thought of that. But I guess I probably wouldn't have taken the gem anyway. It's probably just going to be a future investment. What would be good for Ironclad? Resilient Plate is actually kind of good now. Before I was a little bit dubious on it because of the Amethyst, but now it's up against a little bit less appealing things. And the debuff reduction, as I had a harsh lesson about, can actually reduce debuffs that aren't temporary buffs. Ironclad specifically uses Vulnerable, which is relevant in multiple turns of the fight. Also Weaken as well. So we could take that and use it once. There's also Gremlin Knob coming up, which it could be useful for as well. It'd give Gremlin Knob some strength, but it would also get rid of the Vulnerable if I drew it on the right turn. And of course it would let me keep Thorns as well. I think I do want to try this now. We'll see how well it actually performs. Alright. Early shop is always nice. I'm going to hope I get enough block next turn. It's only 10, but I did just draw 2 of my defense. Okay. And I drew both of my other defense. I guess Twin Slam would have been a hit too, huh? You know what would be really nice to find? What do you call it? The, Singing Bowl. Singing Bowl is actually an insane combo with Gem Finder because the custom reward can be used as maximum HP. I don't know why I just said maximum HP. I guess I was just kind of in the groove. Well, common gem, can't afford to take it right now. Oh wow, hello. Okay, so these would be kind of the other gems that would have been good to take with Twin Slam. Garnet in particular. Amber can also be good with Stasis. Obviously not at this point, but still alright. I do think I want to take one of them though. It is generally, these two are generally good gems compared to the common ones, and we need to fill Prismatic Spray. I think Garnet in particular will still be very useful in the Ironclad fight, should we draw it with our attack cards. And then by the time we get to Prismatic Spray, it'll be a little weird because, you know, putting Vulnerable in an attack card is not amazing, but it's still an option. And maybe we'll find more of them and be able to stack it for multiple turns. There's also another roll attack here. No, I don't think we need that. I think Garnet is going to be very good for us in both the short and long terms. Body Slam is back, and so is Orrery. Looks like we will not be getting a Gelatinous Cube this game, which would have been a perfect Ironclad relic. Whenever you draw a status card, draw 1 card. Unfortunate. But since the shop takes from the end of the relic pool anyways, we would not have found this from an elite. So, not too disappointed. Just a little sad that I can't afford it. Yeah, as far as everything else in the shop goes, I'm not looking at much else other than Orrery and Body Slam card remove. Body Slam is just a very good card in general. Even synergizes with our starter relic, should we want it to. That being said, again, we might not be going in that direction. Especially with Ironclad, it's very hard to line up block with correct turns. I've tried using Body Slam strats with him before, it's still very difficult. Because like this is very much a combo card, and Ironclad kind of breaks up combos. I think I'm going to take the Orrery. We're going to see what happens here. Okay. Crystal Ray could be good in the long term. We have a lot of gem slots that we're going to be filling, and it likes doing that. That being said, we're still not taking any more campfires this act. It's also pre-program, which I'm definitely thinking about here. In fact, the Garnet can go in that one as a setup card. Also, in general, Stasis is very good against Ironclad. Laser Turret. That's very interesting. That's a direct synergy with our construction form. If we put that into Stasis, it will be doing constant damage to Ironclad. I'm very likely to take that, I think. None of these are particularly appealing. If I had more campfires, I could go for the Aquamarine, but I don't. Future plans. That seems like I must take. This is one of the best cards against Ironclad. Being able to save cards for later turns is really good whenever you have a lot of statuses that you're drawing through. Recover is also an option, but I like Future Plans a lot more. And our final card, Recover, Ancient Power, Time Bomb. Not too amazed with any of those. I'm going to take the cards that I have already decided on. Laser Turret. On the fence about Pre-Program now that I have Future Plans and Laser Turret. Time Bomb and Recover are also kind of unnecessary with Stasis stuff. Ancient Power is cool, but I don't think we have the resources to take it right now. So I think those are the only two we're going to take. Orrery's kind of weird. I used to like it a lot more, and I still do, but I used to like it a lot more whenever I would like take every card from it in an early act. But now I feel like there's a lot more value in skipping a few of the cards and just looking for the best options out of all of them, kind of like a library event. That being said, I think we still got immense value out of the Orrery. Getting two very powerful cards on Guardian will take us very far, I believe. Just have to not die. Okay. This is interesting. We drew a lot of very ineffective cards this turn. I'm thinking about using one of our Gambler's Brews to roll a completely new hand. Hopefully get one of our powers in play. Construction Form would be amazing. Could also go into defensive for next turn, if we got the right draw. So yeah, I'm going to just use one of these. In a Sentries fight, it can be very important to get your powers in early, because your turn 2 is not going to be very friendly to you. Bewildered and Construction Form and Roll Attack. Very interesting. I could try to gamble on Construction Form rolling 0 or 1 and play the Roll Attack. I think the safest option is to just play Strike, though, because even if Construction Form rolls 2, we can still guarantee to play it. I think that's the most important thing. If we get lucky, we'll be able to play both of these. We'd need this to roll 1. Actually, we still 2 energy, so we just need this not to roll 3, and then this to roll 0, 1, or 2, depending on what that rolls. I think those are decent chances. Okay, we hit 1. With Resilient Plate and Curl Up still in the draw pile, I think Construction Form is still fine to play over the Roll Attack. And I guess if we don't hit, we can use the other Gambler's Brew. Nothing saying we can't use 2 potions to beat an elite. Okay, we did not hit the Curl Up. That being said, the Future Plans is still very good here. We did hit Resilient Plate, which makes this a little bit weird. If I were to use the Gambler's Brew on these first 4 cards, and there's a 1 in 5 chance to miss the Curl Up, which would be very sad. I think it is worth doing, though, because our alternative is to just lose our buffer and 10 HP. So I'm going to risk it. But first, I'm going to play Twin Slam, because I get a second Slam, which I can then gamble away. This does a few things. 1, now I have Thorns. 2, now we've stripped the artifact. 3, now we have an additional card in our discard, so that whenever we shuffle our draw pile with all the dazes, we have an additional card that can be useful. Okay, thank goodness we hit here. We're going to put Garnet into stasis for next turn. Oh, and now we get to keep 2 of our Thorns? Nice. 2 of our Thorns and our buffer, and we get 10 block next turn to block the middle guy. Okay, very nice. Definitely worth both the potion uses, in my opinion. The more HP that we can save now, the more powerful we'll be for the later elite fights. Which, I guess we're only still taking 1. This path on the right looks safe. But if we felt spicy enough, we could go for the super. Especially now that we know it's not Sentries. 10 and 12. That is a kill on the far back, the back one, but it wastes a bit of damage. I think it's still more important to get that out. Oh wow, hey, how about that? Forgot about Gremlin Horn there. Okay, unfortunately, we don't yet. This doesn't, oh wait, this is second slam? Okay. Yeah, there's no way we were blocking this then. I guess we just keep going for this one? Yeah. I don't know if our chances are too good of getting a kill on this if we had switched targets. Anyway. Okay, Bewildered is back. I think we still definitely want to play the defend, so I'm going to do that. Okay, and then we missed Twin Slam. Well, that's going to happen sometimes. Got Curl Up, though? Alright, we can get Prismatic Spray out of the draw for 4 turns. We could have also just canceled there if we wanted. The game does not force you to pick a card. Oh, we got Vajra, nice. Okay, that was a 5 damage elite fight. We got Explosive Potion out of it. Again, we don't want a common gem. Citrine, okay. That's actually pretty big. That is a kind of gem that can just stay in, stay out of a thing, out of a card and be perfectly fine. Especially on 3 energy. But our other options here are also very good. We have a Vent Steam and a Shield Charger. Vent Steam especially very good against Ironclad. And Shield Charger can give us some early block against the big hits. We would need to draw it on the right turn though. We would need to draw it on an on an odd numbered turn so that the even numbered turns get countered. Also, this slows down a fight, or rather, it keeps us alive. But it, I guess it does both. It keeps us alive, but at the same time, it doesn't do damage. So the fight can still take a long time, and we can still lose, even though we blocked in the early part of it. So do we go for more vulnerable, or do we take the Citrine? Citrine is very interesting for turns, both with Bewildered and with expensive cards in hand. Even with Twin Slam, that's good because of the hidden second cost. Putting it into Prismatic Spray or Roll Attack can be very good. Roll Attack becoming a 1 cost essentially is very, very nice. Especially whenever it's re-rolled by Bewildered, because it can re-roll to 0 and then give you an energy. But Vent Steam is definitely better at killing Ironclad. At least on the first draw. After that it gets a little sketchy again. With Future Plans it might actually be fine. Future Plans make Shield Charger interesting too. Okay. I think with Future Plans I'm going to take the Citrine. I don't really want to take the Vent Steam if I don't have to. Like, it's really good in some situations, but I think this has a higher ceiling. So I'm going to take that. Do we take the Super? If it's max HP Knob, that could actually hurt us quite a bit. But seeing events first could also be very nice, and then we could just dodge. Although, dodging elites for hard pool fights is also very, can be very scary. So what do we do? Events can be all kinds of things, huh? I think events are definitely better once you're a bit more informed on your HP. But at the same time, it can also give you benefits to save you. This just looks scary, though. Having this path broken up by events feels a lot safer, in case we get some kind of healing option. We could get the healing option here, though, too. Alright, I'm going to stick with my gut and just go to the safe path. I feel like there's too many unknown variables on that left path to be safe. Okay. We're going to use the Citrine here, play the Construction Form, and put Roll attack? Yeah, we're gonna put roll attack into stasis, so that by the time it comes out, it will be doing a lot of damage for very little. Okay, interesting. Resilient plate, I guess. Yeah, since that guarantees puts us in defensive. Okay, everything got rolled to 0. Incredible. And he's dead. 3 strength. By the way, playing the gem finder is still very optional at this point, but sometimes I'll play it to get rid of it from the deck. Like I believe I did in the sentries fight. Like it's not giving us any benefit now, but later it definitely will. At least in theory. I could also just find a bunch of crazy gems to put in these, and then it will just be a useless card. Be kind of sad, but you know, sometimes it's just like that. Piercing Hide as a block card is interesting. We've taken no block cards since construction form. Is it worth it? I think no. My reasoning is because I want to be able to draw 2 our damage cards for this last elite fight. So the more that we put that off, the worse off we are. My plan for Ironclad is to take a bunch of HP damage so that we get out of the fight, so that we go into defensive quicker. Hopefully that'll work out. Alright, let's put that into stasis. Let's put Strike into stasis as well, because in 2 turns we're going to wake up. Okay. And then play Curl Up, I guess. Onto Twin Slam. Don't want to go in defensive yet. Alright, let's do some damage. This time I am getting rid of Bewildered, I think. This is kind of a crappy turn. But we'll be alright. I'm going to put Citrine into... Yeah, I'm going to put Citrine into stasis. So that next turn we can get our energy. I guess I could have put the Garnet into stasis, huh? Oh well. Okay, so we didn't play roll attack, which means I guess we lose a buffer instead. No use in keeping the defend around either, so I guess we'll keep it in stasis for the reshuffle. We can go into defensive now, though. Okay, perfect. Does nothing. Another 0 damage lagable in fight. I'm gonna put this back in so it comes out next turn, just in case we need it. Probably don't. Yeah, we absolutely do not. Alright, ooh, that's really, really good. Exploit gems, too, wow. And Orb Walk. Wow, man. You know, man, we've already got 21 cards in the deck, but at least 2 of them are gems, right? And honestly, either one of these we take, I think will still be good. This basically replaces itself, so it's still technically 21 cards. Orb Walk is really nice because we have Curl Up and Future Plans to give us extra strength. That being said, Construction Form is already covering our strength right now, as well as Laser Turret for long-term damage, so you don't really need it. I think we take the much safer option of the Exploit Gems. Now the question is, do we start adding? I don't think we add any of those. This is going to be real interesting once we get to the campfire at the beginning of the next act. because I'm starting to feel confident enough to take some of these gems now that we've gone through a bunch of fights without taking too much damage. Since we didn't take the gems earlier, that means that we saved that HP. At least in theory, we don't really know what kind of draws we got. Our three options were Strength, Dex, and Thorns. Do we want to start taking now? What gems do we really want? And what gems are we going to socket? This is, we haven't had a good gem run yet. This is definitely going to be one of the ones where it's, where we're going to spend a decent amount of time trying to figure out what goes where. I'm starting to think that Garnet will go in Exploit Gems. That seems to make sense to me. As a setup card, setup gem will go in it, and we'll have a 5-card hand at least to make use of the vulnerable in case we need it. The Citrine could also go there, but I'm actually kind of leaning towards putting it in one of the other 2 cards that cost something to make it cost less. So if we put Garnet in Exploit Gems and Citrine in, I guess, Roll Attack, we could put like 3 Aquamarines into Prismatic Spray. And maybe just look for another good gem for Exploit Gems. I usually like to lean towards defensive gems with Gem Finder. It's a very easy way to make a defensive system if you need it. And right now our only defensive system is really Construction Foreman, like our first defensive mode. So I could do something like a Dex gem and then 2 Ward gems. We have the Dex gem here, but I don't really want to take that yet. I would definitely want to take the Aquamarines first, the Wards. So I think we do still skip for now. Again, a little bit too many variables to know what to do clearly. And we still have plenty of time to fill everything else up. Okay, I was worried that this would happen, but you know, so it just is like that sometimes. We got a fight in question mark. Not a big deal. I'm definitely playing Construction Form here, which I think means that we're not... Maybe I should draw more cards. Yeah, you know what, let's do it. There's a bunch of things that we could get, like, we get Bewildered, we could get Citrine, we could get Curl, no, not Curl Up. There's a few things we could get. Yeah, there's a Citrine, how about that? Alright, Laser Turret, you're going in. These green slimes are super offensive. We could draw the Bewildered here. Okay, we're going to do this, and then play Twin Slam, and then Exploit Gems. If we draw Bewildered, then we can play the second Slam. We did not draw Bewildered. This does 13, which splits. Yeah, okay. We're going to just do that for more damage. Alright, reroll my other defend to not 3, please. Thank you. Now we have our other buffer. Because this front guy attacked for 8 and not 12, which is nice of him. Could go into defensive now. And I think I have to anyway, so... I also want to keep all 3 of these strikes in hand for just in case only one of them rolls low enough. Keeping this for later is also interesting, but probably not going to be necessary. Yeah, look at that. All 3 of these strikes were necessary, I guess, in a way. I guess if we had picked one of these 2, it wouldn't have been. Unless that's not how the coding works. Maybe it's just the first 2 are 3s. But yeah, absolutely necessary to do that. We even got the Gremlinhorn proc off it, which is funny. And Laser Turret gets the kill. Boss Potion. That is very useful for a longer fight like a boss or an elite. Although the last time we used one of these, I recall, we missed. We had 5 different hits to get a good card, and then we missed all 5 in 3 different cards. Don't think we need any of these. I would like to take this, though. Do we need the energy potion or the explosive potion more? Big question. If we hit Gremlin Gang, this is going to be very useful, but the energy potion is also very useful with the amount of energy we have in this deck so far. But so far we haven't really had too much of an energy problem. So I think we can get away without this. This is definitely a lot more of a safety option, though. We're gonna hope I'm correct about that. Oh my gosh. Just high roll, right? Just high roll. Okay. Best event in the game. The Grim Forge. We can transmute a card into a gem. We can add as many gems to sockets as we want. We can remove socketed cards to get gems, or we can destroy gems that are already in sockets. I don't think those last 2 options are going to be needed, but we are definitely transforming a Strike here. Or the Bewildered. That's interesting, because this is the only transform event in the game that doesn't care whether or not you transform normal cards or curses. If you try to transform a curse, you will get another curse. But in this event, specifically, you will get a gem instead. Is this the time to get rid of Bewildered? I don't know. Like, as much as it is a curse, it has been somewhat useful for energy generation sometimes. I guess that being said, it's still, it can still be kind of scary to use. I have had times where Bewildered comes into hand at the wrong time and then screws you over. And sometimes that's all you need to lose a fight. Wow, this is a tough decision. It'd be between this and a Strike for sure, right? I guess there's also an argument for Defend, but I think with Gem Finder we'll eventually be putting a couple Dex gems into places and then using block cards. And you know, you don't really need strikes later on. We're even going to Act 2. Wow, what do you do here? There's also the interesting idea of getting a Doo-Hoo doll later. That'd be kind of funny. Give us an extra strength based on our 2 curses. How often do we need this extra energy? We'll have a Citrine. We have both of these. Twin Slam. But Twin Slam is like really bad with Bewildered actually. The chances of it rolling low are very low. We could also just get an extra energy. Yeah, so like the times that we also don't want Bewildered, we're gonna have to pay 2 energy to get rid of it. Okay, I think it is slightly better to get rid of the curse. We got another Citrine? Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Jeez. The high rolls, it's too much for me. I think I am going to stick with what I said before and put Garnet into Exploit Gems. Technically, we could put both Citrines into Exploit Gems and kind of make it like a reverse Adrenaline. Gain 2 energy, draw 1 card. I think that's a little bit too overkill, though. I think for consistency's sake, we want to put the Citrines in different cards. And we might not even want to put it in Exploit Gems. Might want to make this card free, and this card costs 1. I think for sure we're putting one of these in Roll Attack, just to make sure it costs 1. That'll be a very strong card. Especially if we stay on 3 energy, that will be super useful. Up next is our Garnet, which I am going to keep in Exploit Gems. I was originally going to put it in Prismatic Spray, but you'd rather have the vulnerable for the attack than the vulnerable after the attack, right? put the citrine in one of these two. I think making sure that this isn't a completely dead draw is a good idea. It'll be a 2 damage, 0 cost card, which is underwhelming for now, but we can also turn it into a strong combo card later, kind of like Exploit Gems is supposed to be, but if we got a couple of draw gems with this, it would be a cantrip, or even just one. We could even put two citrines and a quartz in here for 2 energy and a draw, or we could put just the citrine and 2 quartz in there for a cantrip that draws 2. So we're going to go with that. We're going to leave the event. I'm super happy with how that turned out. Our deck is below 20 cards again. Definitely unexpected, right? I can't play Roll Attack and Construction Form. That's a little bit sad, but we can't. I am going to keep that just in case we hit something else good, I guess. Now, you know what? I think we could play Roll Attack and 2 Defense to not take damage instead of just playing Construction Form. You know what? That actually seems better. So I'm going to just keep these in hand. I'm going to let this exhaust. The more damage that we put on these guys earlier, the better. Maybe this guy will... Okay, he's still attacking. That's fine. Yeah, this is super easy. Go into defensive mode. Do 11 damage because we have that many thorns. Boop. Alright, easy fight. Energy potion's back. In case we changed our mind. Tourmaline is here. Our common gems are block, Tourmaline, and block, thorns, and ruby. Or the strength. Strength could be good in exploit gems for extra damage, but I don't think we need it. I think if anything we'd want Aquamarine, but even then... I think if I don't take any of these cards, I'll take it. Charge Core, Floating Orbs. Floating Orbs is just insane with Construction Form. I think we have to take that. Then did we take the Aquamarine? If we got it, lock it into Prismatic Spray, it becomes a 2x attack. But now that we have Floating Orbs, it's a lot less necessary for this card to do a lot. So I think we actually just keep waiting. This energy potion actually seems kind of good now. Oh yeah, this is our last fight of the act? Okay, we can definitely get rid of explosive potion now. Remember, that was just a safety thing in case we got gremlins or the slime gang. And yeah, as far as Prismatic Spray goes, I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if we find those extra citrines and quartzes to make it a cantrip attack. I think that is going to be a lot more valuable than making it relevant now. We have so many other good cards at the moment that we can just afford to do that. In my opinion, anyways. Okay, so beat Ironclad, I think we are going to have to take some intentional damage, which means, interestingly, that Gambling Ship actually gets to save Construction Form. You don't want Prismatic Spray, it's just 3 damage, 1 energy. 3 damage, 0 energy, actually. Twin Slam, I don't think we need Resilient Plate either. This is fun, but also unnecessary, so I think we're going to look for our power cards. Yeah, nice power cards, bro. Ooh, Last Stand was here, huh? Remove all debuffs. We could have had 8 thorns. Dang, alright. Maybe I should have waited a turn to use this. I did just toss away our debuff reduction. And next turn might have actually been better to use it on. Well, okay. We've high rolled enough this act. It makes sense that we're having to deal with a little bit less of an ideal thing here. I don't really want to use Atomic Beam because I'm still on 3 energy, right? So it'll put me at 2 for next turn. I want to get future plans, maybe curl up. I want to get Roll Attack and laser turret and all that good stuff. I think we actually take one of these cards and then wait to use it later. With all the statuses, this is going to be hard to use. So I think we just take You Are Mine and then wait. In the meantime, I will take intentional damage here. Make it easier for us to go into defensive mode. Okay, we got Gem Finder, which doesn't do anything. I could play Roll Attack for 1 energy and a bit of Brace. That would only take 7 damage. If I do this, this is 15 block, and that's 26, so it's 11 damage. If I do this, and then... Okay. We're going to Roll Attack and nothing else, except Gem Finder. Just to get it in play. 20 block, full blocks that attack. Oh, I'm in defensive for 2 turns? Why is that? Why did that happen? Oh, it's because he attacked. I went into defensive on his turn, that's right. Oh, okay, we have to play Exploit Gems here. We need a laser turret in. And I'm going to use Curl Up on Strike. This is perfect, by the way. Going into defensive on that turn means that I keep the block for the next attack turn. Ironclad always goes from non-attack turn to attack turn, except for turn 1 where he does his initial bash. Might as well put that into stasis, it doesn't do anything. $20? How much is he attacking for? 21. Okay. That's actually exactly. I said 20, but I have 21. I'm going to... what am I going to do? I have so many wounds. What do I want for later? I think I actually want a defend. I have stuff into stasis for more damage later. I think I need to prioritize keeping buffer once the time comes. Okay. Alright. Just do some damage. I guess we put this into stasis. There's a small chance that we get to keep that wound in stasis just so that it doesn't come out again on a, what do you call it, on the redraw. Okay, this is definitely construction form now. I think we don't want to play Exploit Gems. Or even Prismatic Spray. Prismatic Spray is doing nothing. Or is it? Yeah, it's doing nothing. Okay, let's just get this in play. Get rid of this? There's a lot of stuff we could put into stasis right now. Okay, so next turn is not an attack turn, so we don't even need the defend right now. I think we put Orb Slam into stasis. We are weak, but we have Resilient Plate. So fun fact, we're not weak. He's gonna have a lot of block next turn. So I'm gonna put Strike into stasis. Alright, and I think his upcoming is the big attack turn. Okay, it is a big attack turn, just not the one I thought. It looks like I will be losing both my buffers? Wow. And one of them is to the burn? No, it's not actually. Because what I can do is I can put it into stasis. Because I'm smart. Alright. This puts me in defensive for next turn, that's funny. I have no other way to go into defensive, so I might as well just do this. Okay, we survived the Ironclad 1 fight. I'm just gonna call it now. Ooh. Apparently just in time, too. The humongous attack came in. Oh man, alright. Another Citrine. Oh my gosh. Oh, game, you can't keep giving me all these, gosh. Alright, so the other two, Fierce Bash. You really need to accelerate for that card to be good. It takes way too long in stasis to be relevant in even elite fights. And in bosses, it's going to be doing, like, a very small portion of your damage. Eventually this is going to get buffed, I'm sure of it. Ancient Construct, only good for our temp buffs again. I guess technically also good for other things, but it takes a turn. Any other debuffs that come in would have to happen on turn 3 or later, and that's only if I draw this on turn 1, so it really is just for temp buff scaling. Does it matter whether I call it temp debuff or temp buff scaling? I don't think it does. I think this is a pretty easy citrine though. Okay. I forgot Runic Pyramid existed. That makes this very interesting. Dang. Alright. I think I've had enough excitement for one day. I'm going to take a break, and I'll come back whenever I feel like I'm ready to handle the rest of this run. I don't really like that I'm taking 1 hour Act 1s, but I guess this is just how I play. There's so many different ways that Act 1s can play out, and a lot of risks that you have to calculate, especially with Guardian, whose Act 1s are a bit weaker than most characters. But then again, I might have to reevaluate that. Alright, I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, we're back. Take another look at our deck. Just to remind myself, because it has been another day. So, we've got a few options. We got Calling Bell, Runic Pyramid, and Runic Dome. First question, do we need energy? And the answer is, I think, surprisingly, we could get away without it. I think we are right on the cusp of needing more energy, but there are a few things here that make it a lot easier. For example, the Prismatic Spray and Roll Attack being discounted. The Construction Form just being in the deck makes it a lot easier to stay on 3 energy, even if I can't use the Construction Form for the strength all the time. Floating Orbs makes a bunch of 0-cost cards. Laser Turret does damage passively. We have Future Plans. So yeah, there's a lot of good reasons not to need a 4th energy. It would basically just be for comfort purposes. And by comfort purposes, I mean once we start taking other cards that might require... It gives us the ability to take other cards that might require energy. Because, like I said, we're right on the cusp of needing more. That being said, I think Pyramid can solve any issue pertaining to energy with our current setup. Citrine is especially nice in Pyramid because you can just keep it in your hand and unsocket it if you want, and then just use it as an energy whenever you need to. That being said, I think we can still put it in Prismatic Spray, just because it's about the same. It's exactly the same effect, but also does damage. Since we'd be spending 1 energy, we'd be getting 2 back. Also, if we find a reason to use Gem Finder later, it will be a lot easier to keep the gems in the deck because we'll have a handful of cards that we can actually use. Future Plans will have a lot more options, so we'll curl up plus. This really does just feel like a very obvious pyramid, but I want to go through the thought process here. I don't think we need Runic Dome over Runic Pyramid. I think this is better. And obviously, I think it's pretty obvious that Pyramid is better than Calling Bell. The extra curse can hurt. I don't usually feel like the curse is a big deal with the benefit you get from Calling Bell. But then again, it is kind of it's a fun relic, but also kind of mediocre. I think Pyramid just handles everything we need. So let's go. Let's keep moving on. Alright, we got Watcher 2. Let's see. There is a 3 elite path down the middle. And we can choose to... Actually, this way doesn't have a campfire. Get a late shop if we want. We have 203 gold, so we could spend some cash now. But it may be better to just wait for the shop later. 200 is below where I would want to visit an early shop for. I think 250 would be a better aim. But then again, this is enough to buy a common relic. It's good enough to get a card remove, of course. Card removes being very important on Pyramid, actually. That might be a good enough reason to go, actually. Although we also have Gambling Chip. Still a lot of variables to work around here. Having a fresh mind for this is very important, in my opinion. That's why I was so ready to take a break like I did. Gambling Chip makes the need for a card remove a lot less, but I don't think it's low enough to not go there. So I think I am going to try and take this card remove. I don't mind taking an extra fight here as well. It gets us into the hard pools, but I'm not worried. I think at worst we'll lose 10 HP maybe, but that's it really. Alright, Citrine's going right into Prismatic Sprays with hits multiple times. Alright. And then, do we upgrade? Is the question. With Gambling Chip, the Future Plans upgrade gets a lot worse. We might not even need to upgrade it in the late game. I probably would not upgrade this for Act 2, unless I was really desperate in Act 1, but we're past that. Exploit Gems could get another gem slot, but that can wait as well. Gem Finder still isn't necessary yet, so playing that is not completely necessary. Floating Orbs getting in play is important. But you know what? I think I'm actually going to recall here. Get it out of the way now, save our upgrades for, and save our future campsites for upgrades on better cards that we find. And also for the possibility of resting, should we feel the need to do that. Don't need that either. Okay. Okay. One thing I gotta remember is keeping zero-cost cards in hand. Alright, 3x5. That's easily fixed with a Twin Slam. Oh, and the Thorns. Amazing. So now I gotta choose between Laser Turret and Floating Orbs. I could play Future Plans to put Laser Turret in and have a way to clear hand at the end of turn a little bit. You know what, I think that is worth one turn of Floating Orbs, so I'll do it. Laser Turret goes in. Getting Thorns on the exact right turn for Merchant is rare, but very satisfying when it works out. Just put a Defend in, so we have strikes available. Okay, we got the Exploit Gems, awesome. And we still don't need Gem Finder for any reason. So I'm just going to play the third strike. 15 damage is nothing to sneeze at. Don't even need to put anything into stasis. Goodbye. I'll get you again later. Sapphire. I'm not that desperate. Prismatic Spray getting filled is cool and all, but I'm not that desperate. Temporal Strike is interesting because it's technically a zero cost. But do we need the extra zero cost damage? I don't think so. So no need to put a dead draw into the deck. I guess dead draw is a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Armored Protocol with Pyramid. I am of the opinion that protocols are usually weak. There are a couple times where they're useful if you really need to stay in defensive mode, or if you need an extra boost. For example, we have Watcher 2 coming in as our boss, and we fought Ironclad in the first act. So that combination of bosses in the Niao fight will give Niao a really, really big attack on turn 8, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, our first turn is the debuff, then it goes attack, attack, buff, that's 7, and then the Divinity turn comes on turn 8. Yeah, so that'll be over 100 damage attack. So sometimes it can be good to take, like, I've taken an evasive protocol before, which is the one that gives you dexterity while you're in defensive, in order to properly line up my defensive mode for the big turn and be able to block. Usually the protocols, this protocol and the evasive protocol are not great because they just give you extra block in a turn that you're already blocking for a ton. But that being said, it can be a good investment for later. The big issue, of course, is that it's very slow. So playing the card, so this taking up a card draw and an energy can be somewhat difficult to justify. But Pyramid helps a lot with that by keeping it in your hand until you can find a window to do so. Right now we have a lot of offense in our deck, and we do need to start finding a way to block for later, get our block scaling in. I don't think Armored Protocol is quite strong enough to take, but I can definitely see an argument for doing so, especially if you're worried about not getting enough defense later. I think I'll skip for now. We still have an entire act to find a start to something. We have a shop here. We have a compile package in the shop. That's interesting. Compile packages, I think, more often do damage than block, but there are a couple of things, like Sphere Guardians that give a Spheric Shield straight up. There is the Sentry package, which gives weaken, permanent weaken, even. There's also Donu Deka's package, the Ancients, it's called. It gives the permanent 1 dex or the temporary 4 dex. Also, it can scale up if you have temporary dexterity coming from other sources with its Ancient Construct power, the one that gives you artifact every turn. There's also a repulsor in the shop, which is interesting. That could be very useful for Pyramid, but maybe not completely necessary. Again, in Downfall, the big thing is curses in Act 4, and a lot of Niao's curses can just be handled as is, especially with Pyramid. They'll often just get rid of themselves. Like Haunted, for example. It's a little bit... Haunted is actually a little bit scary with Pyramid, but it still will get rid of itself. And Repulsor won't do anything to stop the Ethereal on every card. I don't think we need to spend 90 gold on it, is what I'm trying to say. That being said, if I want to get this card remove, I would be able to afford very little else. I won't be able to take this Clockwork Souvenir, which can be a big deal. The problem with Clockwork Souvenir on Guardian is that even though it's like an artifact, you think that'd be good, but then you have like cards like Twin Slam where all you're getting out of the only benefit you're getting out of the card is 4 permanent thorns, which doesn't seem particularly appealing to me. There's a lot better debuffs that you can stop, or if you want to like permanently scale decks, you would have to wait to play Twin Slam until later, and even then you're only getting 2 decks. That's probably 2 decks is probably worth this, but we don't have that kind of setup. We could take a blind, actually. We could buy card remove and a blind, and the blind works really well with Pyramid. Being able to use it on the correct turn and as a 0-cost card with no 4th energy. That might actually be a blind worth buying. If we get down to the shop here, which we are forced into if we take this path, we have 1 elite fight, 2, 3, that's 90 gold, plus 45, an average of 135 gold coming, which means that we're probably good for a card remove by the time we get down there. So I think I am going to take this card remove now. Like I said, we're overstocked on offense, so I'm going to take a strikeout. And then we're going to probably take the blind. I don't think we need any other potions. The energy potion's actually really good. Take the blind. Okay, so this would have been a fight that was good to have with, what do you call it, the Clockwork Souvenir. But then again, I did just draw Construction Form turn 1, so I'm gonna just let that happen. Debuff turn? Yeah, okay, we didn't get attacked, that's great. I would like to save Twin Slam for a better turn, I think. I am going to use this to put Gem Finder into stasis. We're getting dazed, but that's fine. Should be completely fine. We can use Resilient Plate here to get rid of the Hex if we so choose. Alright, this takes her down to 5x2, then this to 3x2. If we had 1 Dex, then we'd be able to full block, but we can't. Actually, we can. We have Prismatic Spray. So we get an extra energy. And the best part is we don't even need to play the blind now, and so I'm not going to. Alright, this looks like a kill. I guess we play Gem Finder just because. If it costs nothing, you should do it. Even though we're not really going to get any benefit out of it, I don't think. Shield Spike's a powerful block card, and it braces 8 for us. I think that's a perfect candidate. Especially since it's upgraded already. That makes it a really, really strong take right now, even on 3 energy. Normally this is block 12 and gain 4 temporary thorns in defensive. I think I talked about this before, but sort of like roll attack, it's hard to get the defensive mode thing to go off in my experience. Obviously that hasn't been demonstrated too well in this series. We've got roll attack to go off several times by some miracle. But even with just 12 block is the only effect, the brace 8, just like roll attack, is strong enough to keep around because it scales defense. So as long as we keep taking brace cards, we might actually be fine on defense for late game. We've got Resilient Plate, we've got Roll Attack, we've got Shield Spikes, all of them bracing 8 is amazing. This exhausting, maybe not so much, but as long as we find other strong brace cards, we might already have our block solution. We could take one of these in preparation for later. Emerald is actually sticking out to me because we have Resilient Plate. And with Pyramid, we can set up a combo. We'll be able to block with permanent dexterity. And even with just having a dex gem in hand with Pyramid, it can be good to give us extra block on turns we have our defense. Excuse me. That being said, our only block cards are these 5 right now. But it might be worth to invest for later. Especially if we're not using defense all the time. If we go into defensive and use Construction Form more often than we're using these other defense, we'll be keeping them in hand just organically, because we're not going to want to play them. So I'm going to do this weird play and take the Emerald. We're not going to socket it for a while. It's a little bit speculative, but also a little bit relevant right now. I think we're just going to play this as usual. Finding Construction Form turn 1 is usually very good in Act 2. I think most enemies only hit once. Avocado hits for 21. This waits till turn 2 to hit, so we've already got an extra strength. Okay, so we've got an energy generation, we've got Weaken, we've got Twin Slam, we've got Shield Spikes. We can just go into defensive, though, with Roll Attack and Curl Up. So I'd rather keep the Shield Spikes around, even though it means we'll be getting frailed. Still, 11 block is nothing to pass by. Let's do this first, and I guess we choose what to put into defensive. Oh my gosh, I really am just mixing up stasis and defensive all the time. do I have other artifact strippers coming up? Yes, I have exploit gems. Okay, so that means I can use blind later if I want. Blind will take it from 11 to 8, which is 6 block. This technically blocks for 8 on the multi-hit, but I think if we don't use it to artifact strip, it's not going to be very useful. So let's just do this now. And we're going to use curl up to put laser turret in. You know, usually I'm not a fan of putting cards into stasis when I can just play them, but laser turret 1 energy for how much damage? It was 7 last turn. It's 5 base, so worse than a strike. Might just be better to put it into stasis through some other means. At least most of the time. Let's see. We're still waiting for exploit gems to come up. Okay. I guess we use defend here. Future plans and strike. Actually doing quite a bit of damage. We might be able to get a kill before anything else happens. What do I want to do? Well, we're definitely going to have enough block next turn, so why don't we just put defend in? Oh yes, right, the laser turret. Okay. I was thinking we might draw an attack and then be able to kill immediately, but we didn't. That's fine. So close. But again, it's fine. We're gonna put floating orbs into stasis just because, I guess. Alright, we're gonna play Gem Finder again. And kill. Alright. Yeah, so, I was pretty confident going into Act 2. We've already beat both of the first 2 fights without taking any damage. We're pretty set for right now. Another common gem. We had another emerald, I don't think we need that. We missed out on aquamarine. If we had an aquamarine here, I would probably think about taking it, but neither of those seem really good right now. There's an argument for ruby and exploit gems, but I don't think we need that. Walker Claw Plus, wow. Okay, so big damage jump if we need it at some point. Our damage is there, it's just slow. But I guess as long as we play defensively enough, we should be fine. We haven't seen Silence, so if we took that for later, we would have that available for Niao, and there's only a 1 in 3 chance of her having Thorns. Maybe that's still too high of a chance to gamble on right now. We'll have more chances to find multi-attacks in the future, such as, you know what, I've actually listed them before, I'll just leave it at that. I do also have Prismatic Spray and Laser Turret. Yeah, I think we'll be passing here. And we want to go right so we get the elites. Okay, let's get rid of all of this. I'm going to keep roll attack just because it's a good damage source right now. 9 block goes to 6 here. I don't really want to use shield spikes because it overblocks so much. I'm fine with taking a little bit of damage to keep this blind because the Centurion will be attacking for a lot. Maybe it doesn't care. Maybe it doesn't matter though. I think maybe saving a few HP is worth it when I have shield spikes already. That'll put us in defensive for 2 turns. Yeah, I'm just going to use that now. We have Resilient Plate now. Okay. I'm going to do this. Get rid of our Frail and keep 2 Thorns. And we can't really use Defend here, so I'm going to use Shield Spikes. Go into defensive. If he attacks again next turn, we're covered. If not, I'm going to be a little sad. Okay, did attack again. And we get to play Construction Form. Awesome. That's really good, actually. I think we get another free turn next turn. Yep. Mystic did not attack. We'll just play all our powers. We'll put put defend into stasis. Maybe. Maybe it's strike, actually. Now we have a bunch of block cards coming up. We'll get rid of this. Alright, laser turret's out. Let's play exploit gems. Get some damage down with Centurion. I think just doing the damage here is perfectly fine. Because we have buffer stacks. Does not make me worried at all. I'll put another defend stasis, because why not? Dice of Thorns. Oh, right. We have Gremlin Horn. My favorite. And we have enough damage to just kill here. We already played Gem Finder. Snacker Oil's really bad with Runic Pyramid. A bunch of commons. Piercing Hide could be good. Another block card for our Emerald. I don't think we need to resort to taking commons, though. We don't need Recover, we have plenty of stasis. Temporal Strike, again, is just zero cost attack, which we don't need. We got Aquamarine. I don't think we need to take that right now. We're doing just fine on defense. These are also going to be skips. Let's take on this elite. Okay. I'm thinking this may be a fight where we intentionally take some damage early in order to go into defensive mode sooner. So I think we get rid of our do-nothing cards. We'll keep Resilient Plate just in case. Okay. So I think we definitely use Resilient Plate now. And then we just don't play blind, so we can go into defensive for next turn. The extra block will be good. It's just a matter of whether or not we want to save 4 HP here. I don't think it's worth it. It could be, it could not be. I think this is definitely the safer play. Especially since it gets a construction form in play. That's nice. Oh, but we got Twin Slam here. I would like to use that on a multi-attack turn, if possible. But it also has the Amethyst in it, so maybe I should just wait for the 5th turn. No, the 4th turn when he does the 5 times attack. Yeah, let's stick with that for now. Okay. We're saving Twin Slam, so we might as well put it into stasis, so we know we're not using it. 24. Okay, Blind will do it. And it'll be weak for next turn as well. We'll keep Prismatic Spray for the time being, I think. And we'll just put a defend into stasis. Okay. Get some vulnerable down. Play Prismatic Spray. Play Twin Slam. Might as well get some extra block here. And this should be more than enough damage to kill. 2x5. 11 Thorns. 55 damage. Easy peasy. Oh, that's what you like to see at this part of the game. The Bottled Lightning. With Gambling Chip, that makes it a slightly different pick. It means that... Sorry about that. It means that we can pick something that's worth... worth bottling for some fights, but not others, to give us more safety, since we can just gamble it away if we don't need it. These would be our options. Let's take a look at our other things, though. Charge Up is interesting for the block, and Strength with our stasis. Probably don't need it, though. Clone is really, really interesting with Pyramid. What would we use it on? Possibly Laser Turret. Prismatic Spray and Twin Slam are both great targets. Construction form if we're really desperate, or blind if we need a bunch of weaken. I think that has good targets. I think we take that. It's a really good way to scale for later. In fact, we could even bottle lightning it. If we want to get something cloned on turn 1, that'd be great. But then again, it's not guaranteed, right? So if we want to use clone on something, it would be tempting to greed it and not gamble it away to find one of those cards. I think overall it's best if we don't. So what do we do? Exploit gems maybe? It would draw us a random card, but I think that's still a net loss from gambling chip. Could bottle shield spikes. Just for a big block card in case we need it on turn 1 of a fight. With slavers especially, that might be a good idea. It would block big for us and put us closer into defensive. I think I'm going to stick with that. I'm not sure if I'm missing a play with the other cards, but I think that's the best one I can personally see. Bag of Marbles is great here. Alright. We still got another shop waiting for us, so I'm not going to break the ruby yet. Emerald can only go in one of these two, so I think I'm not going to do that. I could put it in exploit gems, actually. Would be a way to just thin the deck a little bit. But we don't need to yet. That option will still be available to us later if we want to. Floating Orbs upgrade is looking a lot better now. I've been feeling like I needed that extra energy. Clone upgrade accelerates once, just to get that cloned card back a little bit faster. Future Plans, of course, makes the card innate. Maybe that would be a good idea to take early on 3 energy, now that we have a big block card bottled. This does how much more damage? 2 more damage per turn. Not really worth an upgrade anymore. It used to be a lot higher burst damage that you didn't really need strength in order for it to be good, so I've upgraded it in the past. It used to be like 8 to 10 damage. Could also upgrade construction form. I don't think that's necessary. I think we're going to go with the floating orbs, just to make sure we can get that extra damage in quickly. Do we need to? You know what? Maybe we don't need to with these potions. I'll do the future plans. I talked earlier about how that might not be needed now with gambling chip, but now I feel a lot safer doing so. Get rid of those. Okay, so there's our way into defensive. I think this blocks it 1 more actually. So I'm gonna put Resilient Plate into stasis, and then by the time it comes out, we'll probably be debuffed by one of these folk. Great turn for Twin Slam. Probably don't need construction form here. I'm gonna play Exploit Gems. Okay, there's a Prismatic Spray. Currently doing 8 damage. Kind of taking a decent amount of damage here. Twin Slam gets these down to 6 each, which is not enough for that if we wanted to keep our buffers. We could use our energy potion though. That way we could play Prismatic Spray, Twin Slam, and Construction Form. And maybe clone the Twin Slam as well. would save us a decent chunk of HP, and we have potion chance, I think. I think we did just pass up one potion. I don't remember if we had any going into this act, but I think I'm fine using this on this fight specifically. Alright, let's cleanse Wind Slam. Let's play that. Alright, we're gonna lose one buffer here, I think. Yeah, to like 2 damage. Alright, we're gonna get to use Resilient Plate as well, which is amazing. We got the Emerald as well, which is cool. I don't think it'll do much, but, you know, it can't hurt. Looks like we will be taking 9 damage this turn to this guy. What are our better plays here? We don't really need to care about the wounds since we have laser turret, so I think we go for front guy for sure. We could play future plans and strike. That seems a good idea. Oh, cool. How about that? And floating orbs. Let's get laser turret into stasis. Take our 9, that's fine. We want to kill him this turn. Like, thorns are cool and all, but we don't want to be weak. Or does it matter? Maybe it's better to keep the damage on him. So it'd be 15 HP left after our 8 thorns. We can do that much with Orb Slam Strike. Okay. And then Blind Defend will be good enough. Maybe. Let's put that Defend into stasis, because why not? Okay, maybe taking that 1 extra damage was unnecessary. Should have thought of that. But that's alright. Not a big deal. Shield Charger is actually amazing here. There's Refracted Beam as another multi-attack, but again, not needed right now. Let's change this back to what we had before. Shield Charger with Future Plan specifically is really, really good. I think this will make us pretty much as safe as we need to be for a long time. So I'm going to just do that. Take this for a Haunted. I don't think we want to do that though. There's a lot of cards we want to save. Writhe is interesting because we can gamble it and we get a free relic. But again, I don't think it's necessary to get a relic, so I'm just going to leave. Don't like that event very much. Do we have anything we want to upgrade, or do I want to take the super right now? Shield Charger is alright, Clone is alright. Blind can actually be pretty good, but I don't think we need that until next act. Floating Orbs is alright. I think we just have a bunch of alright upgrades, so let's go take the super release. We can get our green key to start the next act. Construction form. I don't think that's going to be feasible right now. Oh, we got Bag of Prep? I didn't even realize. Yeah, that's going to be pretty broken. I don't think we need shield spikes either. I'm thinking like roll attack, laser turret, another attack to get rid of both of them, and then we use future plans to put shield charger into stasis. So yeah, let's just keep those. Ooh, another stack, huh? Okay. We know we're playing this, right? Let's get rid of them. Get our Gremlin Horn proc. This time I did remember it. That was part of the plan. And we do want to play all 3 of these. This is 8, 7. That's with vulnerable. So it's actually 6, 7. Okay. Okay, so apparently we didn't need all of that. But that's okay. Just put Defend into stasis just because. Oh wow, Gremlin Leader did attack. Thankfully, I don't care. We'll just get our permanent dexterity, go into defensive. We've already got enough block. I guess we keep our defense then. I hope Gremlin Leader learned her lesson about attacking like that. That was very rude. I think we saved the Twin Slam here, actually. We play Curl Up just to get the brace, and play Floating Orbs. Gremlin Leader did not learn her lesson. Thankfully, we can teach it again. Construction Form. Interesting. Is there a chance to play that? I don't think there is, unfortunately. But that's okay. If we had drawn Prismatic Spray, we could have. Although we would have lost both buffers, huh? Okay. Play this now. It's more block that we don't need. And brace. We'll save it for a future turn. Because the defense do get worse when there's not decks. So it would be better to keep the shield spikes. Alright, let's do some damage. Goodbye. Another shield charger? Very interesting. Emergency not needed. Sapphire. In your dreams. I mean, just keep taking the brace, right? Nothing to lose. At least not in this case. I think I do want Construction Form. It's a little weird, but it's there. And then the next turn we'd want to play Twin Slam twice. That would take their attacks from 6 to 2 each, and I would have to block for 6 for 1 energy. I guess if I drew Blind or Prismatic Spray, that would be a way. Okay, let's toss all these, see what we get. Okay, we got Blind, great. We also got Roll Attack, which is great. I don't think we need the Roll Attack, but I am feeling like we need to defend. So maybe I play the Blind now. Just to ensure that we get it. Yeah, I'll do that. I think by the time we get our defense system set up, we'll be perfectly fine. Yeah, weakened. So now it'll be 1. It'll be 2, 2, 1. Okay, so that's 5. Which means we don't need to play the Dex Gem right now. We did not hit the extra energy, so I think we have to play the defend here, and the 2 Twin Slams. And that's it. It's exactly 5. Okay. Then I think this turn we get a kill on the middle one, giving us our Gremlin Horn Brock. Yeah, it's more than enough damage. Give us more energy, I guess. We don't have enough brace to go into defensive quite yet, but we will as soon as we get Shield Charger into stasis. So let's go for this. I'm going to clone Shield Charger and put it into stasis. And that should give us a lot of block for the upcoming turns. Also, 3 strength is more than enough for a short fight like this. Go into defensive. Get another 20 block. Again, more than enough here. Oh, goodbye. Oh, I could have killed there, but that's okay. I had a letter opener if I had played another defense instead of power. Whatever. Repulsor is here. I know I didn't want to buy one earlier, but I might take one for free. Don't need another emerald or recover. There's also this weird argument where taking a repulsor actually makes it more likely for us to get haunted on a bad turn, because once we exhaust and draw past one curse, we could get a second one, which could be haunted. It'd be a rare case, but you know, with Gambling Chip, the further you draw through your cards on turn 1, the more likely you'll be to see curses on future turns. It's kind of like building infinite decks with the heart. The heart puts 5 status in the draw pile, and if you have nothing in the draw pile, that is what you're going to draw, those 5 statuses. Similar thing here, it's just with a few more cards. I think we still skip the repulsor. I'm not too worried about curses right now, or statuses. We got plenty of ways to handle them right now. I think we do want future plans. I think we're really looking for Twin Slime right now. Yeah, I'll toss... no, I'll keep the Exploit Gems, because I'm going to draw one either way from it. Okay. So we got this. We'll clone Shield Charger and play Floating Orbs, and we'll put the other Shield Charger in Stasis. That should full block us for next turn, since he attacks for 20. It's exactly 20 block. I'd like to do damage, so I'm going to do damage. Do I need to get rid of the Emerald yet? No, I'm drawing 6 here. 6, which includes the Floating Orbs. When I get to put another card into Stasis, let's get rid of Shield Charger again. I could have played Resilient Plate for 15 damage. Maybe that was worth doing. I didn't realize that, I forgot about the Thorns thing, that I could go into defensive with Resilient Plate. But it's all good. Okay, now we get rid of the Emerald, I think. Because I want to do, like, Prismatic Spray, Construction Form. Yeah, I mean, maybe we draw some attacks this turn. Look at all this block we have. It's insane. Okay. We do have to be careful in later fights. That looks like a lot of block now, but it won't last if we can't stay into defensive mode. So we'll want to wait to use those kinds of cards. Don't need any of these. 1 Future Plans is enough with 3 Stasis slots. Stop it. Extra Energy turn 1 is very interesting with Donu's Washers. Prepare Crush is another really strong card in general. Do I have any boss cards this time? I do not. Why don't we keep it that way? Especially because it means I can't afford a card remove if I take it. Alright, let's take the card remove. I think we still want to get rid of strikes here. Because, like, once we get a good multi-attack later, we're golden. We want to have plenty of defense for the big damage turn that I talked about earlier. Could buy Refracted Beam. I don't think so, though. I just removed a bunch of strikes. No thanks. I heard someone say that the event would be better if it gave 3 bites specifically, and I like that number. Just kind of a little tangent there. We're gonna get rid of these. Maybe I keep Resilient Plate because of Snecko. Yeah, why not? Okay. Nope, we're keeping that. That's about what I expected. By the time one of these comes out of stasis, we can put Shield Charger in, though, for 3 turns, so that's kind of cool. This is just barely not enough to play Construction Form without losing a buffer stack. That's funny. Do we even need Construction Form here? Maybe a little. How about we just focus on doing more damage in the short term? Get rid of these powers. Put Shield Charger into stasis. Construction Form will exhaust. Yeah, we have a lot of damage. Just get rid of the block, why not? Kill next turn. One more. Okay. Still don't need the common gems. There's Polybeam. There's another floating orbs. Ooh, sorry about that. If you heard that, that is. I bumped the computer. Second floating orbs is actually really, really good. But it still kind of has that problem where if we face a Niao that has thorns, then it might be a little bit difficult to keep from taking a bunch of damage. But with Construction Form, in theory, we should be fine to take it because of all the scaling. I think this basically solves our damage problem, so I'm going to take it. I think it's better than taking a single attack card anyway, so let's make this happen. Whew. Alright, this is getting a little bit difficult to figure out what to do here. Prismatic Spray early is really good, though. Getting all that extra energy. You know, I wouldn't mind putting a third Citrine in it. Hint, hint, game. Can you give me a third Citrine from this boss fight? I don't think we need Shield Spikes yet. I could be wrong, though. What's the first turn? Right, it's not an attacking turn. Yeah, let's just keep drawing. Definitely want to play future plans. We'll use that to get one of these cards into stasis. Yeah, let's just do this, actually. And we'll put Prismatic Spray in. That way it'll gain us 2 energy by the time it comes back. Okay, yeah. 17 damage? Okay, Resilient Plate will fix that. Actually, I played Roll Attack. That's another way to go into defensive, and it doesn't cost us our Resilient Plate, so good enough reasoning for me. I think we saved the blind. Still don't need to use it. Not attacking this turn, I'd rather keep the Twin Slam, I think, if that's the case. Maybe even clone it. Yeah. Maybe I can clone it, and then, yeah, I'm going to do the damage now, actually. We'll play Resilient Plate as well. Any other floating orbs? We play the blind now. Her big damage turn comes in 2 turns from now. So I'd want to play blind next turn. The problem is we're drawing 1 less card. I'd also like to play Construction Form next turn. So getting the Weaken in now doesn't actually do anything for that anyway. What do we do? I guess there's a chance we don't draw Construction Form if we only draw 4, so let's go for that, I guess. Okay, we drew it. But on the bright side, this is like a perfect block. Like 9 and 10 is perfect for this. Yeah, let's just get rid of those. Let's put Shield Charger into stasis for next turn. Alright, Ragnarok. Oh wait, no, this isn't the Ragnarok turn. This is Flying Sleeves. When she enters Divinity, she'll have all of that. I can't do enough damage to stop her, but, well, I mean, I can't do enough damage to stop her with her ability, but I can take away 24 damage with just Twin Slam. Or 16? Yeah, 16. It's 20? I guess I play 1 defend and 1 strike. Because I needed to block 26 and I can't. I'll get rid of Gen Finder for now. Okay, you enjoy taking away one of my buffers, it's fine. Now I can't do damage, but still okay. And the lag here is awful. Still trying to find a way around that. What is her next turn? I can't imagine it'd be very much damage. Yeah, we'll just go into defensive next turn. Get rid of these cards. I'll weaken, because why not? Maybe I wait to use roll attack so it actually uses the brace. Put this in stasis for later. It's a lot of damage you got there. Unfortunately for you, I have 2 Twin Slams with Amethysts. I will be blocking that, thanks. Alright, easy fight. Second construction form. Wow. This would be one of those cases where Time Sifter is actually good, but it's up against construction form, right? Bobble Burst is interesting because we can put Emerald in it, but I think it's too expensive. We don't have a gem for it. Second gen, you can't pass up 2 buffer pluses like that. Oh, Pandora's box. You know, even though we have 2 shield chargers, this Idol of Retribution is actually pretty good with our 2 construction forms. We're going to want to play these basically every time we see them, so getting them discounted is perfect. Our 4th energy is what we need. It's between this and Sozu. If we don't need to take a downside like that, I don't want to, so let's take Idol. I think keeping our strikes and defense is perfectly fine. We haven't really had a huge problem with them right yet, and we can still remove cards as needed. Okay. I'm seeing campfires at the bottom of the act, which means that we can break our keys if we kill the merchant without having to path away from elites. I would like to try and take maybe both of these if possible. Could put that in exploit gems now. I think we can still wait though. Now do we upgrade the other floating orbs for extra energy? We can upgrade the blind. AoE weaken is really good in the Darklings fight. It's also good at Rectomancer. I didn't even see our boss. What is it? It is silent. Okay. Oh, this is also good for Act 4, isn't it? Floating orbs, blind, clone. Accelerate on clone could also hit shield charger, Because, like, you know, whenever you see accelerate on the card, you're like, oh, okay, it accelerates the card we just made. But if shield charger was in stasis first, that will be what gets accelerated, and that's not always a good thing. With 4 energy, floating orbs is a little bit less necessary, but it is idle of retromation, so maybe it is kind of... Next campfire isn't for a while. I think we can still wait on a late game upgrade like that since we have already 1 floating orb that's upgraded. So let's go with the blind. You may notice I didn't break any keys. I still want to be able to report a card remove here. I'm not buying colorless cards. I need my money. Okay, saving this for next turn, absolutely. Just get rid of all of this. Give me damage. Thank you. Okay, maybe I could have kept something. Because that turn was a little underwhelming. Okay, we would be taking 5 damage here. That's fine. It means we don't play construction form, though. Let's get another Worm Slayer, because why not? Merchant, I think your time is up. Exact lethal. Alright, that means we don't have to take the second shop, which is good. No thanks. Alright, Bottled Anomaly's back. So is Mummified Hand. Wait, that's insane. Mummified Hand is absolutely insane. If it is Shield Charger, maybe a little bit less insane, but still very, very strong. Takes us down to 246, which we should be able to gain back by the time we get to our campfire for our 3 keys. If we bought a card remove, that's 121, so we would need 179. Could go this way, that's 45, 75, 90, 105, 120, 150. Not enough. So I don't think we can afford both this and the card remove. I still think this is too powerful to pass up. The only other thing would be the Bottled Anomaly. These two cost pretty much exactly the same as the Mummified Hand, so I guess like getting 2 card removes maybe is worth the Mummified Hand. Get it back at 0 cost when we need it. Roll Attack would be a prime candidate again. We did that last episode, but it didn't have a Citrine in it. This time it will. It'll be a free 16 damage Brace 8 and gain 1 energy on turn 3, which we might need. Actually feels really strong. A lot of card removes are necessary, for the most part, just so that you can get through your deck on your first draw. Sometimes it matters on your second draw, but getting through your first draw means you get all your powers and scaling in play, and then by your second draw, it doesn't matter as much. So, Bottled Anomaly is essentially a card remove in its own right. So that's why I'm considering that over Mummified Hand. I think sometimes we are feeling a little bit low on energy, but I don't think it's enough for me to want to pass this up. So let's get our card remove. Let's buy Roll Attack for Bottled Anomaly. Switch those. Time Capacitor was also interesting. I talked about that a minute ago. That might have been a good idea to buy. I said that we were getting an average 150. This would set us at 160, so that would be at 310 if we got average or better. That's not guaranteed by a long shot, so I think we're just going to go. We're going to hope that we get it normally. Ooh, okay. We're not taking two normalities with Pyramid. Or are we? I can remove one immediately at this shop. I could even pass through this second shop. Wow. Yeah. We're gonna do that. You know you have been here before, hunting the same adventure. Is any of this real? How many times have you been slain? Alright, let's buy some stuff. Mostly the normality removes. Getting rid of the second normality, managing the second normality in this late fight might be a bit of a problem. Maybe I can hold on to Curl Up to put it into stasis for one turn. Real kicker is using future plans, but I don't think we could. That might actually be harder than I thought. Maybe we still rely on our defensive scaling to keep us alive. I don't really like any of these relics. We are going to hit another shop as well. Like, Sundial can be good, but by that time we'll have so much scaling it won't even matter. Anchor could be like the one thing that's worth taking, but then again, if we get like 2 rare relics, those will be worth a lot more. And we still have to break our 3 keys. So really we only have 796, which is like 800. 800 plus the 150 we start, plus the 135 now, I guess. No, it's even less. 105. So we have like 900 gold. Yeah, if we got 2 rare relics that we want, we'd have just enough for them, I think. Yeah, let's just pass on these relics. We also have the Act 4 shop to spend on stuff anyway. So let's go through this fight. It's Giant Head. Let's, okay, we don't need any of this stuff yet. Actually, I'm going to keep Curl Up for the reason I said before. Shield Charger, lol. I want to use Clone on something else, I think. I might as well just put this into stasis now and then laser turret. Do I want to stasis something else? How about the Clone? So we have ample time to get a card in hand that we want to use for it. Okay. I think we will also want to use Resilient Plate on Emerald. I could be wrong. I wonder what the order of operations is. Maybe we can keep normality in stasis if we fill our hand, but I'm not sure if we get the floating orbs first or stuff from stasis back first. I think it's floating orbs, so that might be a way to win this fight. Alright, let's do this. We'll use Resilient Plate on Thorns and Weaken. That should be worth it. Okay, so we got stuff from stasis back first. As you can see, Clone is here. That being said, okay, we're going to rely on Construction Form for this fight. I guess I could have cloned the Construction Form, but we have another one coming up anyway. We can go into defensive now for all the block next turn. Gives us 30. We go down to 17, then 27 would be just barely below the threshold, but we can play blind. Okay, I'm going to use this to put Gem Finder into stasis. I'm going to play this Emerald to get rid of it. And I'm going to play Orb Slam. We'll put Strike into stasis. Oh wait, I just used Curl Up. That wasn't smart. That's alright. We'll get through this anyway. Ooh, okay. Disaster. Let's get laser turret in there, I guess. Okay. We need to draw back to Curl Up as soon as possible. I am going to just use Flex Potion now. We're going to get rid of Shield Charger, I guess. Man, I really screwed this one up. That's okay. So we're going to take a bunch of damage here, unfortunately. We should be fine for the rest of the game, but it still kind of sucks. We need these both to be doing passive damage here. Don't have enough with Fire Pod. Okay, so, yeah. 40 damage. Not fun. Man, that feels bad. But we made it anyway. I'm going to grab the time capacitor, like I said I wanted. And what is happening with the lag here? Okay. Blue key. Shop. Low-key hoping for a Lee's Waffle there. That costs 200 gold. It's pretty crazy if so. I guess we buy Preserved Insect here. And maybe the Awaken, so we can heal some of that HP back. Maybe not die under certain scenarios. We might not actually be that good at Reptomancer, now that I think about it. So taking Awaken and then going to a few fights before deciding which way to go might be a good idea. Sometimes you have to make up for your own mistakes. Body Slam is also a really good card, as usual. Might actually take that this time. We have a lot of block. We have a silent boss, which means that Meow's going to have thorns. So one big attack is going to be a lot better than usual. I think we definitely buy the Awaken to stay alive. And I will buy the Body Slam. This time Body Slam gets to participate. I guess I could also take a potion for Repto, but I think we'll find another one in time. Let's take some fights. Hopefully not die. Yeah. This will go to 7, this will go to 9, that's 16. Alright, I'm fine with taking 1 damage. Oh, never mind, I played 1 to defend. Okay. Did I toss away? I did toss away Future Plans. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Alright, We're using buffer for defense here. We're going to be taking 8 damage. That's exactly how much I wanted to heal for. Okay. That's exactly enough. Okay. When you get into situations like this where you screw up a lot, the key is not to panic. You have to live with your mistakes, at least for me in this series. If I was playing alone, that would have absolutely been a save and quit. But here, we're going to do things a little differently, and we're going to be, as long as we stay calm and think about ways out instead of thinking about how much we screwed up, we'll be perfectly fine. Okay. This is 25 exactly, and then this gets us a kill. Okay. Don't want any of those. Don't want any of these. I am starting to feel this this emerald get in the way of things. So I think we're going to get rid of it now. And by get rid of it, I mean at the next campfire we're socketing it. I'll have to keep this in mind for future runs. Because that feels like the kind of thing that I need to remember. That if I wait too long, that might actually end up punishing me. I have buffer. I don't think Body Slam comes out in time if I go into defensive now. So I think I'd want to just put like a defend into stasis. Now let's put Jump Binder in. I guess if I still wanted to put a defend into stasis, I could. Nah. Okay. Oh, I forgot to play Awaken. Well. Alright, one more fight then. This will be an interesting one. Just keep this hand, I guess? Okay. Don't want to play Floating Orbs this fight, I don't think. Just play Time Capacitor. Get the Shield Charger into stasis. I'm in defensive mode, we're going to just stay there for a minute. I'm feeling like cloning this roll attack is actually really good. Just keep turtling up. Get some energy first. 18? Okay. Back in defensive mode. If possible, I would like Twin Slam to work on this triple attack. If we miss, we can play roll attack. And by miss, I mean miss the, hit the parasite turn. Probably should have done this first. I'll play that now to get rid of it. Stasis, another defend. And that's a kill. Alright, 25. Still no for these. There's a decent chance that we die to Reptimancer, so I'm going to go right. Well, I think we lose the Awaken? Yeah, I mean, we bought it for a heal, and it did its job. Body Slam's going to be important for next act. And again, this is some level of safety. But it is a 2-cost card for Silent as well. Maybe that's a good enough reason not to take it. We don't have that many fights left either to heal. I think we're going to get rid of Body Slam here. Sadly. Alright. Going to exploit gems. Get rid of Body Slam, right? Yeah. I think I am still going to rest. Even though I have Awaken. Never can be too careful with Repto, which we did end up finding. Ooh, okay. Okay, so with Fire Pot and Twin Slam, we can get rid of both and get 2 energy back for both construction forms and 1 more energy to do something. Why don't we get rid of these? Let's get both buffer stacks in. Let's get Floating Orbs and Future Plans. We'll save Exploit Gems, we don't need to use it now. We'll put Laser Turret into Stasis. Okay, good first turn. Okay. Another good turn. Looks like we're gonna cruise through this pretty easily. Maybe this fight was a little bit draw dependent, which is why I was nervous. But overall, we did survive pretty easily. Also, the 2 strength a turn is really helping out. Ooh, mama. Alright. Baylor's Lordly Plate. That's a big deal with how many brace cards we have. That's going to keep us in defensive for a lot more turns. We could take Guardian Roll for Act 4, I'm not really feeling it though. Maybe I should though. I have strength scaling. It's AoE. I have plenty of block. Could take this for Act 4 again. It's a multi-hit sort of deal. Especially since I'm probably not going to be playing Floating Orbs in the Nia fight. Alright, we'll take it. They're all buffing. Interesting. lot of damage. We didn't hit any of our race things? We hit our other construction form? Second construction form is very interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna play that. We're gonna put Shield Charger into stasis. We're gonna get this Guardian roll down, I swear. I would like to clone Awaken here, so I'm going to. We're going to go into stasis, defensive, one of those things. That's 9 times 5, okay. Awaken now. I guess we kill the metal one next turn, in the hopes that that blocks for enough. Because Guardian Roll can absolutely just shred all of them. But I want this second Awaken. This is 41. This is 30? Okay. Okay, so this Gem Finder also did not turn out to be as good as I thought it would. But, you know, that's just how it is sometimes. Okay, full heal. Perfect for our last fight. We are going to be using a lot of stasis to discount our 2-cost cards, which Silent 3 hates. The first time you play a card that costs 2 or more each turn, Silent gains 2 shivs. She attacks for a lot this turn, too. Let's get this is 22. I think we need to get rid of that so that Idol Retromation has a higher chance of hitting shield spikes. But then again, like, hitting Construction Form would be perfectly fine as well. Maybe this is fine to get rid of just so that, like... So, like, we can take brace damage. You know, we heal up anyway. Oh, right, we're gonna have to deal with Thorns if I play that. Okay, I guess we go into the defensive then. Construction Form, you're going in. This is 24 plus 8 is 32, so that should be perfectly fine. We're gonna just leave that be. I was hoping to draw the other Construction Form this turn, but... Can we? No. We can play Resilient Plate, though, which is really nice. We're taking 24 damage right now. I'm gonna fix that like this. Make her weak. We're gonna put Laser Turret into stasis. This would be an amazing turn to, like, play a 2-cost card, because we have Twin Slam, but, we can't. Unfortunately. I will clone Twin Slam, though. I am going to play Prismatic Spray as well. 10 damage. We're just going to keep Awaken. Second Construction Form coming up. Oh wow. Ooh. Is this even viable? I can't stop the damage at all. Ooh, alright. I guess we play this one and then put the other Construction Form into stasis. Maybe it's a bad idea, actually. Our ships are doing 7 right now. Wow. This sucks. All of my block cards are at the bottom of the deck. Can't go back into defensive. I want to put Shield Charger into stasis. I also want Construction Form. I think we just have to deal with no more Construction Form. I could play it, but it doesn't make a difference because she has her shivs. Just play the strike. We're gonna put this into defensive. I still have Awaken in case, like, things go horribly wrong here. It's 24 damage? Still a lot. We're weakened as well. That's fun. Get rid of this. I would like to keep that, but you know, it's damage. The other shield charger in. Piercing Whale, alright. Oh wow, laser turret and orb slam deal 0 damage. It's funny. I'll still do this for Thorns though. Should be real nice. Put Prismatic Spray into defense, into stasis. Anything with an empty hand is interesting. It's a hard boss. Maybe I should have put shield spikes into stasis. Yeah, that would have been better. I could have still gotten the letter opener that way. At least I still have Thorns. 8 block? Wow. I'll play this now. But we're gonna redraw it, hopefully. Alright, let's win. We're gonna win this right now. GG. Now on to this fight. As long as we don't lose our buffer, we should be fine. I don't think we want Shield Charger this early. I would rather just get our Construction Forms. Although Shield Spikes this turn could still be good. Alright, let's just get rid of those. Okay. It's definitely more than enough block. I can clone Laser Turret, I guess? Yeah, let's just do that. Put laser turret in, let's put both laser turrets into stasis. Get a consistent source of damage over time. Get our Construction Form. I would like to go into defensive this turn so that I get enough block for next turn's bomb attack. Let's put Twin Slam in. And then Awaken will go in so I can play Guardian World next turn. Alright, Construction Form is here. Actually, it didn't matter. We had buffers, didn't we? And we can't stop the bomb. All right. Well, that was that. Still block cards coming up. Yeah, let's just put that in. All right, my bad on the defensive, I guess. It's the whole reason I wanted the construction forms, right? Yeah, that's fine though. I would like to redraw Twin Slam if possible. Got 14 damage coming. I could just block it with the buffer. Yeah, I think I will, just so I don't have to play defense. So I can draw back to my better cards. Oh, that would have been a lot more damage anyway, because I would be vulnerable. Forgot about that. Let's get rid of our debuffs right now. Okay, blocking for 14 is enough to stop the Swift Strike. Ordinarily that turn would be really scary, but since we have the Resilient Plate, we could get rid of the defensive. Oh my gosh. I'm all over the place. There's too many names. We're on top of the vulnerable. Now these shield chargers are good? Question mark. I still would like to play Guardian Whirl here, so... Oh, I don't have enough block, right. Do that. This isn't going to be enough to block the bomb, but at least it was good for damage. Again, our buffer will handle it. Alright, we heal for 8. Technically only 2, because we only heal 3/4 of our missing HP at the end of the act anyway. But HP is HP. Alright, Elite Fight. This has been our only potion for however long now. Except maybe that one time? Maybe we used one in Jawworm Fight? I forget. Alright, we did use another fire potion at the Reptomancer, so maybe not actually exactly how I thought it was happening. This is 21 damage. I don't think we're going to be able to play these without just losing them, so might as well get some other benefits. Get rid of Guardian Whirl? Yeah, we need some better cards here. Okay. 16, play that and that. Get Shield Charger in. Reserved Insect is nice. Perfect timing for Twin Slam, I think. Maybe not perfect. They could have all been double attacking, but hey. What do I want here? I think I want Watcher first. The Vigor is good for me because I have multi-attacks, but also because I can time my defense with like my construction forms against them having Vigor. So I'm going to attack Watcher. Damage incoming. Alright, I'll play Defend and Awaken, so we don't have to deal with that anymore. I'll put Floating Orbs into Stasis. I wanna keep it. Those other two can exhaust. With any luck, maybe I'll get Watcher's Vigor for Guardian Whirl, and we'll have 40 extra damage from that. Time Capacitor. Shield Charger goes in. Last attack turn before they buff. I guess I'll clone Floating Orbs. Just for even more attack power. Could also clone Curl Up, that's an interesting play. I've been a defensive one, so our next one would be 40. Yeah, that's fair. We'll clone curl up. Play both the floating orbs. I'll just curl up the blind into stasis. Another turn of defensive. Maybe that was a mistake, I don't know. This doesn't matter. Could play it for letter opener, but they all had enough block to block it. This is more than enough brace. Amazing. We hit the miracle. I am just gonna play this. Okay. Silent has Wraith Form. Means we won't actually be able to do anything with Guardian Whirl for now. But we will in a couple turns. So that's nice. Maybe I can weaken Silent a bit, or Ironclad, before killing Watcher. I can kill her pretty much any time, so I'm going to do that. We'll put Guardian Whirl into stasis so that by the time it comes out, Silent will no longer be intangible. Turn does come out, we'll kill Watcher, get the bigger, and then kill everyone. This blocks everything. We can keep exploit gems for a future turn as well. Alright, here we go. Alright, I hope all three of you are ready for this. I don't have the block. That's fine. It's fixable. Beautiful. Don't have to worry about strength or thorns, or them attacking with the vigor. Get extra max HP, I guess. Another shield spikes, I like, but Vent Steam, more vulnerable to end the fight faster. I don't think I can say no to that. Alright. Absolutely buying that. Does this hurt anything? I don't think it does. If we hit curl up with it, we can just decline putting a card into stasis if we need to. Yeah, I don't think there's a single bad hit here. Let's go over these real quick. Strikes and defense doesn't matter. Curl up doesn't matter. Twin Slam is okay. Construction Form is amazing. Roll attack can't happen. Prismatic Thread would be good. Gem Finder, useless. Resilient Plate, good. Okay. Future Plans, okay. Laser Turret, I don't know if that does anything actually. There's some weirdness with blank card and cards that get put into stasis. Exploit Gems, fantastic. Floating Orb's good. We can just not play the other ones. Blind plus, okay. That's okay, that's okay. These do nothing. Good, 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 good. Does nothing. Okay. I am going to buy blank card here. I also think I'm buying Art of War, because on turns that we just don't play attacks, we get an extra energy, and I have been feeling a little bit low on energy despite the Idol of Retromation pick. Maybe that was a mistake, it's hard to tell. I do think that potions did help at some point. Maybe it was correct to take the Sozu earlier, though. Alright, let's get these last two things. Alright. So despite our earlier mistake at the giant head fight, we made it to Meow with full HP. Now we just gotta win against a Meow with major strength gain, Watcher Divinity, and Thorns. That may have been the worst combination for this deck. I think Buffer and extra curses would have been absolutely fine, but This is going to be a challenge. So what do we want upgraded here? I think 2 stasis slots is fine with time capacitor. I don't think clone is a big deal. Resilient plate is interesting, but I don't think so. I think using it once is good enough. Ooh, man, my heart is pounding for this. Definitely the most intense out of all of our games so far. But actually gives us good benefits here. Maybe I do just take the resilient plate because it's more brace over and over. Other than that, it's kind of a card that just does nothing though. I think I'd rather just use it once. Maybe we use the clone with the accelerate just to get it to do something. Yeah, you know what? Fine. I'm not sure how much that will help, but it's there. And now we're gonna put on. Okay, it hit blind. Not bad. We got construction form. I'm going to get rid of all of these for sure. Do we want floating orbs? I think so. Even early on, like this, the extra damage will be good. Let's see what else we hit. Okay. I was hoping to hit the second construction form, just a bit. But that's fine too. Vent steam now. Yeah, then we future plans floating orbs. Use the fire potion. Do we play shield? Do we put shield charger into stasis? We discarded 3 of our defensive cards, so maybe it is fine to actually get this out first. If we're able to conserve our buffer stacks, will be golden. Then again, we don't really need to. I might actually rather put it into stasis next turn. But then my Idol of Retromation might hit it. Okay, we'll put it in now. Keep Twin Slam out. Twin Slam would have been good to have for the multi-attack, but probably still have it by then anyway. Bewildered. Okay. I think we play Clone Plus on Twin Slam. Then play Twin Slam once. And then next turn we're going to use Resilient Plate. I guess we could put Second Slam into stasis? Oh wait, this won't come out in time, will it? For the multi-attack. This is still fine to put in though. Yeah, let's keep it. It's a really good card. Alright, we've got 2 of our buffers. We have construction form here, which means that we can take a couple hits. Yeah, this should be fine. And it's a 6 times 3? Oh, and we're in defensive? Okay, we keep all of our buffer stacks. Let's go. I'm gonna keep Shield Charger out. We're gonna wait to use it until we need it. Definitely need to play this now. It's ethereal. I think we want to keep exploit gems so that I can have the dexterity for next turn. Maybe I play shield charger now, just cause. Yeah, if we can keep a buffer for the big hit, big divinity hit in a few turns, then maybe we don't need to stack up a bunch. So I guess we use our defense now. And I'll put Awaken into stasis, right? No, we kind of want to put other things into stasis, and that will take up slots for 3 whole turns. Maybe it's still better to do that than to let it eat the idol of retribution. So yeah, we'll just do that. What do we draw? Icky. Okay. No complaints here. Okay. Let's do this. $27. Okay, we do blind now so that we can play more orb slams. This takes us within range, but we still keep our buffers. Alright. Bewilder gets discounted, which is good. We're going to play these cards. Seven times 3, huh? If we play these orb slams, we lose our buffer stacks. We're gonna lose 3 of them right now, but thankfully that leaves 1 for the big hit, which will be just in time. I'll put Guardian Roll into stasis too. Alright, 3 buffers. Will we in defensive next turn as well? That's interesting. I don't think that helps us at all, but I guess it means I can play Guardian Roll next turn. Weird. Alright, let's play Awaken. Get our damage down. I wonder what the damage on the next hit is going to be. The next triple hit, I mean. Will I need the Twin Slam? I'll also just do the damage right now. 1 hit. I think we keep Twin Slam. Yeah, we keep Twin Slam for 2 turns from now. It is going to be tougher to do damage, though. Without taking any. Maybe that's okay. Oh hey, our second Twin Slam's back. Awesome. Spire's 20 block, we can do that. If we play Orb Slam, we die. That's just how it is right now. Actually, that's not true. I can play the Defend. Okay. Okay, now if I play Orb Slam, I die. I guess unless I played the blind too. Should I just use it now? Get out of hand? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Choose a card to put into stasis, huh? Might as well. It'll come back out immediately. Okay. 18 times 3, that's very manageable. Like a surprising amount of manageable. Yeah, we should be able to get a kill within these next couple turns, easily. Let's lower our damage incoming. I don't mind taking more damage here, so I'm gonna just do it. Ooh, we're just below the brace threshold to go into defensive here. I think we should do that. Go into defensive, I mean. Nah, we keep these. "19 thorns. GG. Alright, Guardian World, show them what you made of. That's a win in just barely under 3 hours. Ooh, alright. Was sweating there for a while, but thankfully we were able to pull through. Overall, I think a well-played fight. Can I show the deck here? Nope. 2099. Playing for this long is exhausting. I don't know how streamers do it. They have to gain so much stamina from playing for hours on end for so long, and commentating. Okay. So we had a really spicy Act 1 early construction form off the heart for the curse. Was absolutely worth it. A little bit of a weird choice. I don't usually take curses as a downside, but I felt like it was the right choice here. Especially with Ironclad 1 being our first boss, which isn't showing up here for some reason. We couldn't boss swap, at least not with my strategies. Preparing for the Act 1 boss is so important whenever you're playing against Ironclad. Or Defect, but Defect I already boss swapped, so we got a bunch of really good stuff. Orrery gave us, what did we get from Orrery again? We got 2 really good things. It was... I don't remember what we got, but we got 2 really good cards out of a 5-card Orrery. And like I said back then, sometimes it's fine to just see a ton of options to take a really optimal choice. Like a library event would. I think overall this is a bit of a weird deck, because we had Laser Turret, which is usually kind of its own deck, but it more tiers supplemental damage. 2 construction forms obviously does a lot. Gemfinder did nothing, basically. In fact, I will say it did completely nothing. We could have gotten a Dexterity Gem anywhere. It's a common. But I was sort of expecting us to lean into Gemfinder as a way to create defense with Aquamarines, the Ward Gems, and maybe some Dex Gems. I think in the future I'll have to look for... I think I'll be more likely to look for... I'll take Gemfinder when I have a lot more open gem slots that I want to fill, because I think I only had a couple cards. I had... What did we have? We ended up finding the Exploit Gems, but we found better gems for that. It was our Roll Attack and our Prismatic Spray. We found 3 Citrines for, somehow. I still don't... that was some pretty ridiculous luck. Those were all in Act 1, too. I think. Maybe we just got 2 in Act 1. Yeah, either way. Managed our brace well. Valor's Lordly Plate was really cool to get the extra brace. The 999 gold or 2 normalities was a really good choice. Just had to be a little bit more careful in how I played the fight. But I think overall that was the correct choice, which you don't get to see too often. Hitting all 3 shops at the beginning of Act 3 to spend just a ton of gold getting card removes. We were able to remove every single one of our strikes and both the normalities by the end of the game without a single removement, I don't think. Grimforge... Right, I removed the Bewildered Curse that we got from Niao at the Grimforge event, which by the way was super clutch. Yeah, we had 2 Citrines by that floor, and then we got a 3rd one from the boss. I'm not sure how much Runic Pyramid helped this run. I'm sure it helped quite a bit, but I was a little bit too engrossed in the play to actually like think about how much it was actually affecting things. All I was thinking about was just, keeping cards for later, which on 3 energy and Idol of Retromation actually was pretty good. There was probably some decisions along the way we could have made to make managing this a little bit easier. Maybe something to put cards into stasis. I don't recall seeing any extra that could. We were pretty much working with as much as we could get with our time capacitor that we got late, and the future plans. The upgrade on Curl Up was really good with the Pyramid. I think that was a good play as well. The Awaken ended up being just like a desperation play. It did things though. We were able to heal. It was a bit of safety it was a bit of peace of mind for me. So yeah, I think overall a really, really interesting run from beginning to end. Act 1 was super interesting. Getting us more powerful through the middle of Act 2, and then gaining the gold in Act 3 and making up for the mistake of the giant head fight. The whole way just a roller coaster. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. I am exhausted though, even though I took a break between Act 1 and Act 2. Hopefully the further we go through this, we'll get faster and won't have to think as much, or maybe I'll get accustomed to taking more breaks in between acts just to make sure that I stay fresh in these runs. Well, yeah, leave me your thoughts. Tell me what you thought about this run, if anything could have gone better, or if you would have, or what you thought about how our build ended up by the end. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you stick around for future episodes, and I'll see you later.